With so much happening around us lately, most of us feel lost, confused, and most importantly, have this fear of missing out. And somewhere, the absence of an elderly individual being there to guide us as a friend is a pain point of many Indian individuals. And recently, I got the opportunity to interview this amazing person who actually guides us directly, indirectly as a friend, none other than Mr. Ankur Warikoo. Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kanishka Thakur where I talk a lot about career, motivation, marketing and a lot of things which makes my and your life a lot better and easier. Well, today's video is for you people. I have actually asked those questions which is a voice of many individuals. Nonetheless, stay tuned till the end because this video is going to be a power pack for you guys. Also, before you all continue, don't forget to like, share and subscribe because I interview a lot of known individuals being entrepreneurs, creators to know about their journey and most importantly their career as to how did they make it where they are today. So see you guys till the end of this video, and if you guys want to hear me live taking these interviews, you all can go check my Instagram out. What if we made a list of things that we don't want to do in life, things that we know is not going to work for us, but then sometimes you come to that point in life where you don't have a choice. You come in a dilemma that you have to do this or you quit. So what does one do in that case?
So, look, the realities of life are such कि बहुत बार ऐसा होगा that you are at a point where you can't do anything else except that one thing. More often than not, it is because of financial instability. Let's say you need a job and you are desperate for a job because you need the money, you have to take care of your family, your parents, whatever it is. तो कोई भी नौकरी तुम्हें अगर मिल जाए, that is what you're looking for. At that point of time, you're not thinking कि ये क्या मेरा passion है, क्या मेरा growth है, क्या मेरा career है. You're like, screw it, I just need a job. But it is very important कि if we are forced or if we have to go through a scenario where we don't have any choice and we end up making that choice, that doesn't become the only choice we have in life from there on. तो उस पॉइंट पे तो वो चॉइस ले लिया बिकॉज यू रियली डिड नॉट हैव एनी अदर चॉइस. बट जब वो आपने डिसीजन ले लिया है, उसके बाद टू जनरेट मोर चॉइसेस एंड मोर ऑप्शंस फॉर यू इज स्टिल योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. यू कांट फील स्टक फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ कि मेरे साथ तो जिंदगी में यही हुआ और मेरे पास तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं था, मेरे पास कोई जरिया नहीं था, मेरे पास कोई ये नहीं था. बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट people tell themselves and then we all know how it ends up. That is not true. तो ये हो सकता है कि जिंदगी में एक पॉइंट पर आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन ना हो, but after you've made that choice, there is no reason why you should not generate more options and choices in life because that is your only way of getting out of it.
So when did you or any person that makes a question that when do we realize that this is what makes me happy?
Oh, I don't think there is a when. I think it is genuinely a feeling that you cannot dismiss. जब आप genuinely कुछ ऐसा कर रहे होते हैं कनिष्का जहां you are in love with what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like an effort, it doesn't feel like you have to drag your feet every Monday morning to show up at that place. It doesn't feel like you have to become someone else to be good at that. It is something that naturally you are capable of doing. It is something that you genuinely enjoy without feeling the burden of it. It is something that is something you would look forward to even if it's 5 a.m. in the morning or 11 p.m. in the night and it doesn't feel like, oh shit, काम करना पड़ेगा. But it is very hard to feel these things. तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम अपने आप से झूठ बोलना शुरू कर देते हैं. We try and tell ourselves that I like this when the truth is we don't really like this. It is not something that gives us happiness. But we begin to ask ourselves a very different question, in my opinion. It's like, let's say you join a new job and in the first year, we ask this question, am I happy in this job? Which is a good question to ask and an important question to ask. But very slowly and thereafter very fast, we start asking a very different question, which is, how can I get better at this job? अब इससे क्या होता है, you've changed the question. The question is not about whether you're happy in the job. The question is how can you get better in this job, which you may be able to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're happy doing it.
Right.
So what will happen is you'll start getting better and better at the job because you're getting feedback, because you're putting in the long hours. लेकिन दिल से तुम खुश नहीं हो. And it will
Right.
feel like a struggle and you'll be like, why is this happening? Because I'm getting better at my job. मुझे वो सारी promotions मिल रही हैं which I'm going for. मुझे वो सारा feedback मिल रहा है, वो पैसा मिल रहा है, वो रुतबा मिल रहा है, whatever the things are. But there is something missing. And it is the
That's
fact
true.
that you stopped asking yourself this question, am I really happy doing this? So I don't think there is a moment when. It is just a feeling that you know you love this job or what you're doing.
Multiple occasions you have said that you are a productivity nerd. And what do you do on days when you take an off or weekend? Because the most important part is that how, if a person like you who is always so productive, I understand that it's a little difficult to take a day off. Your mind keeps on running all the time. Ki, what do I have to do next? And I think once you are in that phase that you're not taking your days off, then your struggles start, because your mind is not productive. You get that creativity block. So what do you do in that case, sir?
I genuinely take a lot of breaks even within the day. I frankly do not work as hard as it seems. So for me, my way of taking breaks is taking an afternoon nap or meditating in the morning, reading books, practicing my singing, playing with my kids, spending time with my wife. And those are the same thing that I do on a day off as well. मेरे लिए frankly कोई day off होता नहीं. I don't know what day is off for me because every day I like to work a bit. I like to do all of these things that I just said. And it's a nice combination where every day feels like extremely productive. Every day feels like I'm in control. But for someone who's of course working, and I come from a point where I was hustling and I was working 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And at that point of time, what was very important for me is one, getting my adequate sleep, because I think that is the most important thing for you to recharge, and making sure that my morning routine was never, let's say, taken for granted.
Exactly, struggle. But I'll ask you this question: that how can one get the freedom to fail?
So that is a terrific question, Kanishka. How can one get the freedom to fail? We all think that the freedom to fail will be something that will be given to us by someone else. हमारी कंपनी अगर फेलियर को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगी तो फिर इट कांट गिव मी द फ्रीडम टू फेल. मेरे माँ बाप अगर मेरी फेलियर को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, so they don't give me the freedom to fail, so on. And that is true to a large extent. But I feel the biggest freedom to fail has to come from within. हम खुद ही डरे होते हैं. And I feel that we don't fear failure because of failure. We fear failure because we fear what people will think of us when we fail.
Right. Very
हमें
true.
हमेशा से लगता है कि कौन क्या सोचेगा, will we let someone down, so on and so forth. And it is that mind block that has to be overcome. If we can get to a point जहाँ we either know ourselves so well that nobody can touch us, or we are so comfortable with all the likelihood of everything that is going to happen to us that we are okay with it, then suddenly we don't fear failure. And we don't fear what people will think of us when we fail because we know ourselves completely. But that is the biggest and the most difficult thing to work upon. And it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy. So I have a very unusual theory about it, and that is that getting comfortable with failing is also a habit.
Right.
And that will only be built if you fail enough. Now, that is like, oh shit, इस आदत को सीखने के लिए मुझे हारना पड़ेगा, बट मैं हार से बचने के लिए ही तो ये आदत सीख रही हूँ. So it becomes like this complicated thing. But that is where failing in spots that doesn't affect you significantly is important. For example, you are in a small crowd and you are just hesitant to ask a question because you fear what people will think of you.
Yes.
But उस छोटे से कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, उस छोटे से सिचुएशन में, अगर आपने थोड़ी सी हिम्मत करके वो सवाल पूछ लिया, and अगर आप फेल हो गए, it will actually help you, because frankly आपकी जिंदगी से उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. People will forget it, they will move on. You will also forget it the next day, move on. But that failure, even that chota sa failure, will teach you so much about how to deal with failure, how to deal with failure. And the more and more you take these baby steps of going during college on the stage and speaking in front of the crowd, or volunteering to be the leader in a company or in a project, or approaching that stranger and saying something that you want to tell them, or sending that cold email to someone that you always wanted to. All of these choti cheezein, which really don't have a big impact on our life if we fail, are great ways to build the habit of failing.
That is very true. But then, so again, there comes another question to it, that when I, spoke this something on similar grounds to someone, and then that person told me one thing, that too much positivity is not good.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that where can one stop being positive sometimes. So this question, I'm not able to frame it out, but I hope you understand that. Like I was like, what are your views on excess positivity? So if it can help in that way.
No, I think the question is very valid, Kanishka, which is, I'll use a different term, which is irrational optimism. So, and that could be wishful thinking. So what is the difference between, for instance, hope and wishful thinking? Hope and wishful thinking hoti hai. Hope is that you've got to a certain point where you've done everything that you had to, and you're just hoping that everything falls in place. Wishful thinking is that you've done nothing to get to a point, and you hope that you will get to that point. So that is a big, big, big difference. And I feel that this so-called positivity errs on the line of wishful thinking or irrational optimism. कि कोई basis नहीं है, पर हम बोलेंगे नहीं, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा, कोई ठीक कर देगा सब चीजों को. And we all know that doesn't work. But the hope is, you would, like, a good example in today's context is, let's say the entire political machinery is investing in making sure that we have enough oxygen, we have enough beds, we have enough doctors, we have everything, and then we're hoping that all of it works.
Yeah.
As against saying कि अरे नहीं, कोविड खत्म हो चुका है, कोई फायदा नहीं है, अब आराम से हम बाहर जा सकते हैं, कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है, अब कुछ नहीं होगा, सब कोई ना कोई देख लेगा. And that's wishful thinking. Now that is when this positivity is not helping at all. Is not helping at all. You may think that अरे ऐसा कैसे, positive होना चाहिए, there's nothing there, immunity है, सब कुछ है, but that's not how it works. You can still be positive while preparing and being hopeful. But if you are positive before preparing and hopeful, then it's irrational.
Please choose a career. I mean, there are so many careers these days. Being a career counselor also, when I actually dive deeper into telling someone about a career, I'm like, God, क्या बताऊँ? इतना चीजें आ गई है. There is so much that this person can do. How can one choose their career, and how can one eliminate the possibilities of actually struggling or choosing the wrong path in a career?
And these are two very important points, but distinct points. One is, how do you choose a career, and second is, how do you eliminate the chances of ending up in a wrong career?
Yes.
Let me address the second one first. The minute you know that you are in the wrong career, my suggestion is, please move out. Now, that doesn't mean that you quit your job, because that's a foolish thing to say. What I mean is, the minute you know you're in the wrong career, then you have only one job, and that is to find another job. Your job is not the job that you have. Your job is जो भी कुछ करके. You are clinically going to do what is required from you. You will do it well, but you're not going to be employee of the month के लिए strive करेंगे, सबसे बढ़िया promotion के लिए strive करेंगे, सबसे ज़्यादा increment के लिए strive करेंगे, because you hate that job. So how does it matter that you're the best person working in a job that you hate? Just doesn't make sense. So you will just work enough for you to do whatever is required and expected from you, but 100% of your attention beyond that will be in finding another job. अब ये कि कौन सी job ढूंढे? Because there's everything. Now there, I have an approach which is just based on the fact that one should never stop exploring. We are living in a world where the longevity of our professional career is only going to get bigger and longer. Our parents used to work for 40, 50 years. I am convinced that you will work for 70 plus years, should you want to. And your kids will work for 100 plus years, should they want to. So the key is we can't be thinking कि एक career से पूरी जिंदगी बीत जाएगी. We will have to have multiple careers. That career whenever that happens.
Thank you for this. Thank you.
Because it's stupid for someone to believe कि मैंने अपने बैचलर्स में कॉमर्स ली थी तो मैं अब जिंदगी भर सिर्फ कॉमर्स ही करूंगी, या मैंने अपने बैचलर्स में केमिस्ट्री पढ़ी थी तो मैं जिंदगी भर केमिस्ट्री ही करूंगी. ऑफ कोर्स इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन एंड यू शुडंट वर्क लाइक दैट. हर 5 साल, हर 10 साल कीप चेंजिंग. एंड जो ये कहानियां सुनते हैं ना हम कि अरे एक ही चीज करो एंड कीप डूइंग इट फॉर द लॉन्गेस्ट टाइम, it seems like that's what they're doing from a distance, but अंदर जाके पता चलता है that they are also living multiple lives. ऐसा नहीं है कि जेफ बेजोस पिछले 30 साल से Amazon चला रहा है. जेफ बेजोस पिछले 30 साल से ऑलमोस्ट हर साल एक नया बिजनेस चला रहा है. नाम Amazon है, but बिजनेस हर बार अलग है. And that is how they keep reinventing themselves and moving and moving and moving in different industries, different professions, different roles, different functions, which is what we have to do as well. There is never going to be anyone who can tell you what your right career profession is. Just keep exploring. Just keep finding out.
So you mentioned this one thing that, and I understand that जैसे मेरे डैड थे तो 60 years हो गए, he knows मेरी एज रिटायरमेंट की है, but हम लोग ऐसे रहेंगे that we will keep on working because we are so passionate to do so. But again, there are so many people who feel that you know मुझे तो सिर्फ 40 years तक काम करना है, फिर मुझे पैसे कमा के ये चीज करना है. तो you know the same people, I know that they are so passionate towards working that वो करेंगे 70 years तक काम. So I can't frame a question, but I'm pretty sure that you know what I'm trying to ask. Yeah.
So here is how I would think about that, which is the same way that I think about my life as well. And that is, spend your time in your 20s exploring.
Okay.
And try and figure what is it that you're good at and what is it that you love doing.
Right.
If you find that in your 20s, and decade is a long time, to explore karte raho, change karte raho, nights, weekends, whatever is it that you can do, internships, projects, freelancing, day job, full-time jobs, sab karke, try and figure out what is it that you're good at, that you love doing. And then in your 30s, just double down on that. Just double down on that. Like a hawk, just go and target that thing, because that is what you're good at. That's what makes you happy. So by the time you're 40, either of these two things will happen. One, either you would have made so much of money that you will never have to work again for money. Or you would love your job so much that it will not feel like work anymore. And in either of the two cases, you will technically retire at 40. So I can say that at 40, I have retired. Why? Because I work and for fairly long duration every day, but none of it feels like work. None of it feels like work. So I am completely in the zone and I'm not answerable to anyone. I do things that I want to do. I'm in complete control of my time. I'm free to say no to whosoever I want to, yes to whosoever I want to. So it's not work. And technically, while I'm working, I have technically retired as well.
Right of your life?
None, zero, no regrets.
Lovely. That is how you move forward. And what are those 5 qualities that you feel that you don't have, but you want your kids or the future generation to build while they are young?
Oh, I can I answer in quality/skills?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one skill will definitely be around coding, which is something that I don't have, and I feel that is an absolute necessary skill for the world to know of. Second, I actually can't speak any language except for English and Hindi, which is very मतलब मैं अपनी mother tongue भी नहीं बोल सकता. So I'm not very proud of that, but I feel that I would love for my kids and the future generation to actually devote themselves to learning languages, because the more languages you learn, you actually open up your vocabulary to different emotions and different expressions.
Right.
One thing that I do not know of is to play a musical instrument, which I would have loved to, and I feel that it is important that you learn something that you can. One thing that I don't know is how to grow food, like as a farmer, and I feel that the knowledge and the awareness of giving life to something outside of a human and nurturing it and taking care of it is a very precious skill to go through. And it's not by choice, but I'm colorblind, so I can't differentiate between shades of red and green. So
Okay.
so the world is, I don't even know. I don't even know how the world is different, but I have seen a world which is very different from what you see every day, and I don't know what your world is. So not that this is a skill to be acquired, but
But yeah.
I wonder sometimes what it would have been if I wasn't colorblind and I could see all the colors in the world.
Wow. This is, oh my god, I don't have words. I mean, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Let me know what value did you actually capture from this video in the comment section. Check the description out. I've mentioned everything, and don't forget to watch some other amazing videos. Until then, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.